Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Michael Cioni. It is Tuesday. It is Strata Live. We are coming at you on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and Zoom. For anybody that watches it live on LinkedIn, which nobody does, but we're there. And Zoom, remember Zoom webinars for all those years? It's changed, but YouTube and Instagram are where a lot of you are, and we're great to connect with you. It is a nice day here in California. I am Michael Cioni, and we are coming at you from my house in North Hollywood in Los Angeles. And we are going to go over a whole bunch of things today. We got a few new things to show. We've got some new things to test. We got some workflows to talk about and some new events coming up. So there's a lot going on. I want to start just by getting right into the really good stuff. We released Strata for Windows in alpha. What does that mean? It means Strata for Windows is available for you. It is publicly available, but we're not putting it on the website yet. We're looking for people that want to be part of our alpha testing, and many of you already have. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are making improvements and adjustments and upgrades all based on your feedback. So thank you for the Windows users. If you want to try Strata for Windows, then Pete is on this call. He can put the link in the chat, and he can help you get access to the Windows Alpha. You're going to have to join our Discord server, and our Discord server is where you can gain access to lots of new things, new announcements, new features, and new alphas and betas like Strata for Windows. So try it out if you're a beta user, if you're a Windows user. But here's something really cool. It means you can transfer files from Mac to Windows like AirDrop, except it's Mac to Windows. And there isn't an AirDrop for Mac to Windows. Like that's kind of something that's missing. And we're not talking about a computer that's 5 feet away. We're talking about a computer that is 500 miles away, right? AirDrop from Mac to Windows across an ocean. It's so cool. And that is available and it's working for our Windows users. So if you are a Windows user or you want to integrate Windows into your collaboration network, then you need to get the Strata Alpha for Windows. Okay, next up, we've got agent-to-agent transfers. We quietly released this about a week ago. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's changing everything because it means you can transfer files from computer to computer. I'm going to demonstrate this later, by the way. But you can transfer files from a hard drive on one computer to the hard drive of another computer, except you don't have to have the footage on your computer, meaning you don't have to be either one of those computers. Do you get it? Like you can orchestrate or you can administrate transfers between computers that are not local to you. Now, some of you will say, oh, I can do that with screen sharing. Yeah, but you have to screen share, and screen sharing is not something you're going to integrate with collaborators. You're not going to integrate it with contractors. You're not going to invite an assistant editor and a producer to screen share. And you can't screen share on a computer you use. Like, how would that work? Why would you just stop working? It doesn't make any sense. Strata is not screen sharing. And agent-to-agent transfers means you can access files on people's computers and move them even if the files are not local to you. It's really different. It's really revolutionary. There's always somebody that's like, no, we've had this for 10 years. You haven't. If you think you've had this for 10 years, I'm just doing a bad job of explaining it, which is possible. But anyone that says we've had this, Strata is not novel, is wrong. I challenge them to try it. Anyone that says that has not tried it either, because everybody that tries it says, wow. They just say, wow. So it's really awesome. And agent-to-agent transfers is available today. And I'm going to show it to you in a little bit. And then we have improved transfers. This is something our team's working on. Kira did amazing designs for this. Austin's doing amazing work. And if you look here in the right, you can see now you have others' jobs and your jobs. Check this out. When you're doing a transfer, you can initiate an actual transfer. But when other people initiate transfers, you can see their jobs. This is coming soon. So I got this available soon. This is coming really soon. But you can see here, now you can understand what's being transferred, what's being downloaded, things that you're doing from and to, right? Like, see, you can see it's from Austin to Haley, and you're downloading from Haley. Like, this is This is really unique stuff. So when you have your own peer-to-peer network, you get to visualize what is moving in that network. And this is something that's coming very soon. So really excited about that. And then we have upgrades to invite permissions. Now, there are more upgrades coming to invite permissions. A lot of you say you want more permissions control on how you invite things. We hear you, we listen, and we build, and we execute. And so right now, you actually have the first half of our improved permissions, which means you can give someone viewer access or editor access. And I'll describe a little bit more in detail what those are, but you have that. But eventually you'll have download only, and you'll have admin access. So, or view only access. So these are all getting improved even more. So it's really, really exciting. But the first invite permissions upgrade came out last week. It's available now, and you can make people an editor or a viewer. And an editor means you can move files. A viewer can just see them. An editor can actually move them from drive to drive. So very, very cool, very powerful, very new. You could try it. That's available today. And by the way, everything that's available is totally free right now because we are in a free unlimited beta. That is going to change very soon. So that's why you need to get on this beta and try it, because it's not going to be a free unlimited beta for very long, right? It's going well for us, so we're going to change that. Okay, let's pause for a second. We're going to do some demos in a few minutes, but I want to start to talk about who's on the call. We've got help today. We got my brother and co-founder, Peter. He's here. We've got Margot, our line producer, Shannon, our cinematographer, and Austin, our head of engineering. All of us are here to support you, but we're here to answer your questions. You can ask questions on Zoom, on LinkedIn for all one of you. It's really just Shannon on her own LinkedIn. So Shannon, you can ask a question on LinkedIn if you want. And then YouTube and Instagram. If you've got questions, I have an iPad here off to the side. I can read your questions. I can answer them. So provide your questions, and then Pete and Austin, Shannon and Margot, they can provide support and answers. But we're all available. We love to meet with people. In fact, I don't actually have a slide for this, but if you want to meet with us, we meet with people daily, every day, 4 or 5 meetings every day, and we do one-on-one calls. So Pete, if you want to just put the Calendly in the chat, you could do that. So if you ever want to have a one-on-one call so we can learn about you, your business, your workflow, your challenges, and then we can help build a custom Strata workflow for you, we have that time. And so we'll put a link in the chat right now to our Calendly. You just find a time that's available, you book it, and we get to know each other, and we build a workflow, and we test it all together. And you can invite as many people as you want to that meeting. It's really, really fun. So we do those every day, and we want you to understand that this is new. It's different. It requires change. It requires new thinking. You have to be willing to change your workflows. But if you're willing to try, then set up a meeting with us, and we'll chat together. Ben Broadbeck says, I love that Strata pivoted to a local first strategy. It's how the internet should have been all along. Glad to see this bold move. I hope it returns a harvest of users and business success. Hey, thanks, Ben. That means a lot. That's really sweet of you to say. I really appreciate that. I think actually we have a story with that. I'm going to skip to that, Ben. I have to do this. I have to actually escape out of this and go to this. Ben makes light of this adjustment we've made, and sometimes we refer to it as a pivot. And Ben is making light of the fact that we moved from a cloud-based technology to a local peer-to-peer based technology. It's very different. Strata is a collaboration platform that works for creative professionals, but it's not cloud. It's peer-to-peer. And we actually did an entire episode explaining this transition. So Ben, if you haven't seen it, you're going to love watching this episode. If you have, maybe that's where your comment was inspired from. But we really want people to watch this. This is really interesting because it's helpful so you understand what our business is and where we're going. But it's also helpful if you're an entrepreneur or a creative or a filmmaker. There's little details in here that can help you know how to identify when you need to pivot and shift and change. So many of us get so, we fall in love with the ideas that we have, that we just want to defend our own ideas because we feel that we're so right. And sometimes we have a problem where we ignore signs that suggest we're wrong or that our initial intention is just not quite being realized in the execution. And the only way to deal with that is to have an open mind and to have a good support network around you and be willing to take feedback. And filmmakers often are really bad at that. We hate feedback. And the best filmmakers listen to feedback. They show rough cuts. They talk about it with their friends. They get a lot of reviews going. The worst filmmakers hold it all really close and tight and don't show anybody till it's done. Anybody that makes a movie that way, you either have to be an exceptional filmmaker or you're ending up making a worse film. And I think transparency, having a support system, and being open to feedback helps you make better decisions. And you just have to sacrifice a little bit of your ego and say, maybe I'm not right all the time. Shocker. So this is an episode dedicated to people like that. I am one of them. And so this is a story of that. So you might want to check this out because it shows the story arc of where we were, how we learned, and what we're doing. So we invite you to watch that. Okay. Moving on, let's go to what we're going to talk about today. We're doing a little housekeeping now. We talked about some new features. I'm going to demonstrate those. I'm going to invite a guest in a second. And I will do some futures at the end, and we'll talk about pricing, which is really important. Ben, it sounds like you watched that episode. So thanks for watching that. We love people that pay attention to that. I have such a great episode coming out next Tuesday. Ben, it's amazing. I think it's the best episode we've ever made. It is so cool. It's going to be big. It's next Tuesday, and we'll talk about it on YouTube Live next week. But it is really exciting. Ben also asks, is there a timeline in regards to when keyword logging, what we had in the cloud product, will be available as a locally conducted feature? Yes, Ben, check this out. Well, is there a timeline? Maybe. So if we go to our website, which is strata.tech, I have a button here called Vision. The Vision page is how we are able to talk about our future. So if I go to the Vision page, this is not for sure, but this is the vision that we have, and we're taking feedback and we're making adjustments to that. So for example, we are building messaging into our platform right now. Messaging is actually coming along pretty nicely. Now, why would you need messaging? Well, here's the thing. If you're a Frame.io user, I'll tell you how you use Frame.io. You make a folder, you put a file, you invite people to that all day long. The file's in there, it's ready to go. Then you go to Slack, or you go to iMessage, or you send an email personally, or you do like a WeChat or something like that to tell people the file's in Frame.io. In other words, Frame.io is great for commenting, but you have to alert people that the file's there manually. You send a message to them. And what Frame.io is missing is a messenger service. It's one of my problems with Frame.io is that I am a power user of Frame.io. I love that product, but I have to always message people to check it. And this is a messaging service. Plus, one of the challenges with Frame.io is you can only talk to people that are inside your Frame.io network. But we have lots of collaborators on a film or a project that are not inside of our cloud network. So Strata Messenger, think of it more like Instagram Messenger. It allows you to communicate with each other and share files and share locations, but they don't have to be paid for anything like that. You just have access to it. And so you can have messengers with contractors, collaborators, and partners. It's really powerful. So that's significant. And then we're going to be delivering commenting. We're hoping to do this by the end of the year to make a really awesome commenting experience. And so there's some upgrades. If you're a Frame.io user, you're going to love Strata commenting. There's a few upgrades that we've got into it that are really powerful. Here's a hint. This is a global comment, but this is a direct message, DMs, combining DMs with global comments. And so you can DM people in the comments, which is different and really powerful. When you combine comments and messaging together, you get a really new, powerful, collaborative communication experience. It's going to be awesome. It's best in class. This is going to change everything about feedback. Look at this, Strata Mobile. We are working on Strata Mobile, and we will have some announcements for you with that in maybe about a month. So we're really excited about that, but that's a little tease right now. But imagine being able to access your NAS if you have a Synology or you have a jellyfish or a QNAP or something like that, or an OWC or something like that. If you have that, imagine accessing that on your phone, on the go, and playing back ProRes files off of your NAS at home and being able to move files, transfer them through your phone. That is new. That's going to be awesome. We're really excited about that. Synchronous review, format support. These are things we want to work on. But the question that Ben actually asked is about a timeline for when we will have keyword logging. Well, what we have been is an opportunity to move our AI models to run at the edge. That's really going to be a 2026 plan. So sometime in 2026. But in order for this to happen, we need users, we need support, we need to grow the business because I got to hire more people. I'll be honest. We need to raise money and we got to hire, but we can't do that without customers like you. So we're going to start with transcription because everybody needs transcription. We'll run AI transcription at the edge, which will make it the best, cheapest transcription you can get. I promise it'll be exceptional quality and it'll be really cheap. And then we will go to logging. So here's the logging: faces, text, labels, logos, locations, emotions. That logging will take place. This will be in 2026. You'll analyze your files on your drive. But here's something really important, Ben. When you analyze your files on your drive in Strata, all of the search criteria, so when you go to search it, will be available to all your collaborators. In fact, even if you take a file from your drive and it moves to another drive, the metadata will follow with it. So the search criteria will travel with the location of those files. So it's really advanced. This is really hard stuff. It's really powerful tech. And that gets to something that Bauzon. I don't want to say this wrong. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering your name. Apologies. But Bauzon asks, if my editor is in Texas and I'm in California, does he still need to download all the footage to edit? Yes, you need to do that. In fact, almost everybody does that today anyway. Even if you're a product like LucidLink. So I'm a LucidLink user. Here's my LucidLink account, right? I got a LucidLink file space called Strata. Even if you're using LucidLink, the editors almost always download the footage anyway. They pin it. They localize the files anyway because editors want high performance. They want low latency, high performance. And to do that, you need to have the footage local. So even though LucidLink is a cloud file space, the files end up getting localized and download in order for them to be edited. That's how it works. That's why you have a cache when if I were to open up my LucidLink space, that's why there is a cache of files to transfer your media to. So yes, Bauzon, you have to download the files to your local drive. But in Strata, we make that easy, we make that inexpensive, and we make it something that is bi-directional, meaning the editor doesn't always have to download the files. Someone could push the files to the editor. They could be delivered to the editor, and they could be delivered clip by clip or mag by mag or setup by setup or day by day or shot by shot, whatever. So there's a whole new way to think about this. But yes, you're going to probably need to localize files to the editor. Okay. So Seth asks, can you tell us if the models you've developed for the cloud can be repurposed for the edge, or is engineering starting from scratch? Some models can be repurposed to the edge, and so they don't have to be done from scratch. So no, there's a lot of options out there. Plus, as time goes on, there's more and more models available to exploit and explore. And then third, we learned a ton. We spent almost 18 months building these models into our product. We learned so much that we can do it better the second time. And so we'll be able to integrate them in a way a lot better. So there's a lot of benefits there. But some models will be able to be a little more plug and play. Some will require a little bit more work. But we are repurposing a tremendous amount of the work we did. So we expect this to happen quickly. If we're successful in 2026, we should have a very, very strong AI game in 2026. And by the end of next year, I expect we'll have some incredible functionality with accelerators of search on files that are on your drive. So really, really exciting there. Great question, Seth. Thanks for that. Okay, so we want someone brave. I want someone brave. Everybody thinks they're brave until you're asked to do something live. I want you to try something live. And I really want someone who's like never done this before. So if you're a Strata user, not as interested, but I'm interested. But I'd rather someone that's never used this before. I want to invite you to do this live with me. What that means is you're going to email my brother, Peter, and he's going to set you up, and then you're going to share your screen. You don't have to talk. We don't have to see you. You don't have to present. None of that. I'm just going to have you share your screen, and I'm going to share you files from my drive, and you're going to play them back, and then you're going to share files from that back to me. And we're going to establish a peer-to-peer connection, and we're going to view and transfer files to and from each other, and you're going to do it from scratch. So I need someone brave who is willing to try this to sign up right now. I'll reach out to Pete, tell Pete in the chat, I'm willing to sign up and try it. And then I want you to test it. And I want you to test us. We believe we have built the fastest, easiest, most collaborative way to communicate and transfer files. And I want you to prove me wrong. And this is going to be so fast, so easy, so powerful. And I want you to experience it. And then the other people watching that are not brave enough to try it and be the guinea pig themselves, they can see how fast and easy this is with a stranger. So I have not pre-planned this. Every week we do this. Someone fresh comes on and we try it. So someone brave, reach out to Pete. And you know it. There's that little thing saying, I should do it. I should do it. I'm not going to make you talk. I'm not going to see your screen or see your face. I just want you to share your screen, and then I'm going to talk you through this experience. It's really fun. It's really powerful, and it'll change your workflow, and it's going to make your workflows better. And these are the types of things we have to go through in order to make our professional lives better. We have to try new things. So many people just do the same thing over and over and over, and they don't think about, well, what does this unlock? What gets better? What changes? This is how you improve. And if you have tight deadlines and you've got remote collaborators and you've got people all over the world and you got clients and you want to be efficient and cost effective, then we are going to rock your world. So you've got to try this. All right. I'm looking for that volunteer. Sign up. Okay. Another announcement. In about 6 weeks, 7 weeks, it is IBC for all of you in Europe. I'm seeing here Ben is volunteering. Ben, thank you for volunteering. We appreciate you very much, Ben. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay. The rest of you, if you are in Europe, you need to book your tickets to go to IBC. Many of you are in Europe or kind of in that region. You should go to IBC. And we travel a long way. We have to travel for like 18 hours all day to get all the way to Amsterdam and set up our booth and then demonstrate Strata. We want to do it to you in person. So if you're in Europe, you have no excuse because most of you, it's like an hour or two flight. For us, it's like 13 or 14 hours. So I want you to sign up, register at IBC, go to IBC in September. By the way, Amsterdam in September is amazing. It is a gorgeous time of year to be in Holland. So come to IBC. There's amazing businesses there. It's a great event. There's lots of great food, great parties, great tech, great panels, and Strada's going to be there. And so we want to meet you, and we are going to have this big booth. We have a booth at IBC, and it's huge. And we need you to show up because we're going to be embarrassed if nobody comes to our booth. So we need you to come. If you're in the United States and you've got airline miles and you've never been to IBC and you've never been to Amsterdam, you are going to love it. The first time I went, it's the best. It is such a great place for a trade show and for tech. And if you're a young filmmaker or even an established filmmaker and you've never done this, you got to go. There's so many things about lenses and lighting and cameras and accessories and workflow and color correction and monitoring. It's all there. And you're in Amsterdam. It's amazing. It's amazing. So come to Amsterdam and book time with us. That's our booth. We have a calendar link. Pete has put the calendar link in the chats so you can start booking time to meet with us privately at IBC. And we want to have those conversations with you. We want to show you what we're doing. We want you to test it, and we want to meet you in person. And so that's our booth. That's a rendering from our friend Joe at CX Global, and she builds our booth for us. And we can't wait to see you there. So come to IBC. We'll see you soon. Okay. Today, if you are using Dropbox, Google Drive, or Signiant, we want you to stop. We think we have something way better, and it's time for you to stop. We're gonna build something better. We want you to connect your drives to each other, not these clouds. See, these are cloud drives. And so you're always uploading into them. You're paying for storage. You're taking time to upload. You're storing files up there that you may not need. You're getting charged month after month after month to store everything in these clouds. You know it. You're always getting charged for that. But if a cloud is just your footage on someone else's hard drive, why can't it be your hard drive? Right? And that's what this is all about, connecting your own hard drives directly to each other. That's a peer-to-peer network where we've been all taught that you connect things to a cloud and everybody just connects into the cloud. It makes sense and it's very powerful. I'm not denying that, but it's expensive and it's slow and it's not cost effective and it's too hard to gain access to everything. Almost nobody has all their footage in a cloud. They only have a portion of their footage in a cloud. And that's why all of your footage on your hard drive, you can connect that. And maybe you don't know this. You can connect as many hard drives as you want in Strata. I've connected like 10 all on one computer. I suppose someone could do more than that, but this is a lot. So we want you to connect your drives and then you can share any file. Your collaborators can browse, they can view and watch the files remotely, and then they can localize them. Someone asked earlier, do you have to download the files to edit them? Yes, but you don't have to download them to see them. You can pick and choose, you can view, you can browse, and then you can choose to download if you need to. With a cloud, you have to upload everything and pay for that storage. With Strata, you don't. It's your storage. You don't have to upload anything. You only have to transfer what ends up needing to be transferred, but you don't have to pay for that transfer experience. So this is really exciting, and we want you to try it out. We also had a new episode come out last week. You should really check it out because people ask how many people can access a Strata account on one computer at the same time. Well, the answer will surprise you. And this is an amazing tech test where we take an Apple M3 Ultra, the Studio Ultra computer, and we basically break it. And you got to see what we did, and you got to see how we did it and how many people can access Strata on one computer. It's amazing. And by the way, what I'm having them access is ProRes 4K in the XQ format. It's over 1,000 megabits per second, and that's what's being shared. 1,000 megabit file to all these collaborators on one computer. It's crazy. It really seems crazy. It doesn't seem possible. And so it's really, really exciting. So you got to watch episode 44. Check that out. And it sets up episode 45, which I already teased is coming next week. Next Tuesday, episode 45, I think is our best episode. So we are really pumped to share it with you. We're really, really excited. So that's pretty cool. RJ on Instagram says, will I be able to use something like a TrueNAS directly in Strata without having to connect to a PC via SMB? RJ, right now you do need to go through a separate computer. So you'd have to connect a Windows over SMB in order to do that. So what you're describing is to run Strata directly on the NAS. We want to do that. And that's a plan for something in 2026 because we want to integrate our technology into the NAS itself so you don't need to mount it over SMB. So that's on our product roadmap. We want to build integrations so that our technology can be integrated into hardware products like drives or cameras. Think about Strata inside a camera so you can talk to the camera without having to do an SMB mount. So those are things we want to do. But today, you would need to do that. So we do not yet have a headless version of Strata. You got to run it on a Mac or Windows computer. But then once you do that, RJ, your Strata agent can connect the PC to the NAS, and then all your computers can have it, Mac and Windows. They could all have access to that NAS, Mac and Windows, it won't matter. So it's still worth doing today, but eventually we'll get rid of that computer that's required. So that's really important. Going back to episode 44, we actually invited 20 users and they were all over the world. And this is what's really cool to see how far apart people are and how many simultaneous streams of playback we're able to get off one computer. So please watch episode 44. It's really cool. It's really profound. It's a technological first. It's very, very compelling. And most importantly, it really shows how wide Strata is, how deep it can go. People are concerned that if I use the cloud, I know that it has infinite scalability, right? That's true. Dropbox, Google Drive, they're never going to run out of ways to connect to them. And so people get concerned. Well, if Strata's running on a computer, how many people can really access it? That doesn't sound like my internet's not good enough to handle collaborators. That's why you need to watch episode 44. If you think your internet is going to inhibit your ability to leverage Strata, think again. Watch how it works, learn how the tech works, and then episode 44 will help you understand that. And so this is really, really a real life demonstration of how far we can push it. And then you can watch it and say, is this more or less than I need? So that's really important. Okay, I think we're getting close to trying it live. So while we set that up, I want to show you one more thing that's really cool. I have to switch over, and I definitely want the Instagrammers to see this. How do I do this? Not this one. I need to go here. Okay, Instagrammers, I want you to see this. This is an Ursa. This is a Blackmagic Ursa 12K. And this is a really unique camera. I've always been a fan of Blackmagic, but I never had any of their cameras. And now their sensors are exceptional. Their cameras are versatile. They're very affordable. Their quality is really, really great. And they have incredible new workflows. And one of those workflows is an SMB mount. Now, what's interesting is RJ was asking about SMB mounts.
Michael, can you recenter your face for you? There you go. Thank you.
Yeah. Basically, what we had here was what was I saying? I was saying I can't remember what I was saying. But basically, what we want to do is demonstrate how SMB can be used with cameras. And so I'm going to start that up right now. So check this out. The camera itself has the ability to connect over wireless Wi-Fi. So this camera is wirelessly just broadcasting. And now I'm going to go to my network settings. And when I go to network, you can see here that the Ursa Cine 12K shows up. This is how the camera works. So if you're on set and you shoot with Blackmagic, you absolutely need to do this workflow. It's amazing. I click on Ursa, and then I can see here MM1. That is the actual media card that's in the camera. In other words, I don't have to take the card out of the camera. I've never taken the card out of this camera. I don't even have a card reader. I don't need it. I just pull it off the camera wirelessly, or I could use a gigabit Ethernet if I wanted to. And if I click on the MM1 drive, I've just mounted this. This drive right here is it's the camera card. There's just nothing in the camera right now. I haven't shot anything, but I have the camera card mounted on my computer. Every time a clip rolls, the camera card will have that file on my computer. And then what I do is I go to Strata. Hang on a second here. I click here in Strata, and I can connect the MM1. So by connecting the MM1 on my desktop into Strata, it means Strata is resharing everything on this camera. This is going to be very important now, because we're going to go to Ben, and we're going to invite Ben to join us. And Ben, thank you so much for doing that. So I'm going to switch to Strata right here. And what this means is we have the option for Ben to be able to join our actual session here. So what I'm going to do is you can see right here, here's the MM1. So that's the actual camera card right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to demonstrate how easy it is to invite people to a folder. So ProGrade, this is a drive that I have. I have a ProGrade 8 terabyte drive. It's bus powered. It's USB 4, and it is capable of 2,000 megabits per second. And I love that it's 8 terabytes and bus powered. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on test footage, and now I'm going to invite Ben. So I'm going to go ben.broadbeck@gmail.com. Okay, I'm going to invite Ben to this, and I just want to get a copy of this if I can. which I can't. Okay. And then I'm going to invite Ben to that. So I've just invited Ben to this folder. He hasn't been invited to the whole drive. I can click on a drive or a folder and I can invite people. You can see I have a lot of friends, a lot of people invited to this. Okay. So Ben is from Champaign, Illinois. I am from Chicago and I have driven through Champaign many times on my way to Southern Illinois University. And so really great, Ben. Great to meet you. So Pete, has Ben able to share his screen? Is he going to be able to share his screen? I don't see him.
Yep, he's set up as a panelist. Ben, if you can share your screen within Zoom.
All right.
Great. So what Ben's going to do is share his screen, and as soon I probably have to stop sharing my screen.
Yep.
There
You
go.
do.
Yeah, there we
I'll
go.
go ahead here.
Cool.
And I've got to grant access to the app. Hopefully it doesn't make me drop off.
It probably will.
And yeah, it's going to. So I'm going to be right back.
You'll be right back. While Ben does that, check this out, everybody. I'm going to go back to my MM1 drive, and I want to show you this folder here. It's empty. Remember, this is the Blackmagic Ursa camera. So I'm going to hit record, and I'm recording take one. This is take one. This is Michael in his office here shooting, and now I will cut. And watch this. As quickly as I did that, here is the file that I just shot. And you can see it. And I'm recording take one. This is take one. This is Michael in his office here. So I just actually shot a take from the camera. It's already right here because it's already on the camera card. So I got a B-RAW file and I've got a proxy, right? So
and Michael, Ben is back.
Great, Ben is back. So let me stop sharing my screen. So Ben, if you share your screen, I'll start talking you through a few things here. If you go to strata.tech, you should be right there. Perfect. Yep. Now, the first thing Ben sees is Mr. Cioni. That's my drive. And Ben, just for size, awesome. Thank you so much. We actually see test footage. That's the folder I invited Ben to. So Ben, I want you to click on folder number 7, National Treasure. And if you click on that file, we can see first, it's 151 gigabytes. So the first question everyone should ask is, how long would it take for you to transfer 150 gigabytes to someone? Well, Ben, if you hit play and then just grab the little audio slider there just to the right of the play button and just make sure the audio is down on that. Yeah. There you go. Now, Ben is playing back National Treasure, but check this out. Ben, I want you to skip to the middle of the film. Just click in that timeline in the middle, and now you'll see there we are right in the middle. Ben, click at the end of the film, and it'll take you to the end of the movie. And you can feel, Ben, it almost feels local. This 150 gigabyte file almost has the response as if it's on your drive, right?
Correct. It's fantastic.
Yeah. So Ben is able to access 150 gig file. So earlier in the session, we had someone ask, well, do I have to download the files in order to edit them? If you're going to edit, Ben is going to need a copy of these. Yes, but you may not need to download them at all. A lot of your collaborators can view them. So Ben, let's go back to test footage here. And let's try the next thing. I want you to go to interviews, number 6, folder number 6. And if you click in the middle on the woman in like the orange yellow shirt, this is important. And it's going to stutter a little bit because Ben is resharing his screen, but I want you to hit the F as in Frank key. And if you hit F, Ben, would you describe the quality of the image that you're seeing? Be as honest as you possibly can.
I was an editor for 20 years. This looks great. It looks like I'm sitting in the edit suite. You know, you could make proxy footage and edit with it, but I mean, what we're doing here over a screen share is pretty incredible. I would feel comfortable making decisions, and, you know, I don't know that I'd want to put a final out, but I'd be very comfortable with having somebody review something that I did even over a session like this.
There you go, Ben. That's excellent. So this is a 4K file. Strata supports 4K and 10-bit color. So this is considered high fidelity. The image you're seeing is basically what some could call Netflix quality, 4K 10-bit, right? And so, again, we're seeing it reshared through Zoom. And so it's a little stuttery and blurry to us. But if you have doubts about the quality, that's why you got to sign up and try Strata, or sign up and have a meeting with us, because then you can see what Ben sees natively, locally, because it looks really great. Okay.
And on my end, it's only blurred maybe once, and that was for maybe all of 1 second. So that's pretty impressive.
Nice. Okay, Ben, hit escape. Let's try the next test here. Let's go back to test footage. And now we're going to go to folder number 8, Planet Earth. Now, this is really cool. I want you to scroll down as fast as you can. None of these files are local to Ben, but Ben just loaded 800 shots. You can see how fast Strata can access media. It feels like a cloud, but it's not. This is reading off my drive locally here, Ben. So what I want you to do is stop right there. Now click on any one asset. There you go. And now I want you to like scroll up just a little bit anywhere. Yeah. And then shift click. And now I want you to right click. And what we see here is 40. Okay, that's probably more than you need. I want you to hit escape, and let's just do like maybe 10 or 15. I want you to grab like a small batch. There you go, right click. Okay, so he's gonna do a batch transfer. So if you hit download, it's going to say, it's gonna ask for permission. So you're gonna make a folder here, just make a new folder, create a new folder called, yeah, there you go, Chioni, great. Hit select, and now hit view files and then save. And now what's happening at the bottom is he is getting a peer-to-peer transfer. What this means is the files are transferring from my hard drive directly to Ben's hard drive in Champaign, which is about 2,000 miles away. And so he's moving the files peer-to-peer. So earlier when we had a person ask, can my editor in Texas be able to localize the footage? This is how you could do it. This is one way, is transferring it, meaning you don't have to ship a drive, or you don't have to upload it to Aspera or WeTransfer or Google Drive first and then download it. Ben, do you understand? You're actually pulling it directly, and there is no temporary upload space first. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's a peer-to-peer transfer, the way the internet was supposed to be all along. We're getting rid of the middleman, and that's what I think the incredible value proposition of Strata really is.
Awesome. That's awesome. So Ben, if you click in the upper right of the app, you see a little blue number 1. This is another place where you can see your jobs panels. So if you wanted to, if you didn't like the thing at the bottom, you can close it with the little arrow, the little caret. And just so people know, this can always show up in the upper right. That's your job progress panel. And so you can always see that happening. So, and I see Ben even made an icon for himself there. I see a little picture. It looks like you and your family, which is awesome. So, okay. So you can close that, Ben. We'll let that finish. It's about to be finished. But if you could go to your Finder where you save that folder, we'll just show people the clips are in there in that directory that we created. There it is. So now we see there's all the files. And if you hit the space bar on one of them, you'll be able to see those files come out. So there we go. Yep. So there it is. So Ben now has a copy of these files, and he's able to localize these, and he's scrubbing through them right there. So there you go. So that is an example of a way to make this work. But we're going to try another way now, which is even better. And so what I'm going to do here, stand by, Ben. I got to make one change. Broadback. Okay. What we're going to do now is I want you to refresh your screen. Just hit refresh the Chrome. And now you see a new computer showed up. I added Ben to an entirely new computer called an M3. That's an M3 Studio. So right now, Ben can see 2 computers. Neither of these computers are his. Neither of these computers are his. These are both separate machines. So what I want Ben to do is something really powerful. Ben, go back to test footage. And then I want you to go to number 4, folder number 4, HEVC clips. And I want you to grab those bottom 2 takes there. And we see 2 takes there. Now this time, instead of transferring or downloading, I want you to right click, and I want you to just hover on transfer to. So what Ben is about to do, this is a totally different workflow. This is going to be a transfer or a push. What we saw a moment ago was a pull or a download. Ben was given access to a file, and then he downloaded it locally. But now click on transfer to, and he's going to get a new panel that shows up, and it says, choose a destination to transfer the files. Well, the files came from the computer, Mr. Cioni. That's where it was. So click on the M3 Studio test files, and then you're going to see a folder called transfers, number 9. And right in there you can see in this transfers, you can see a couple of JPEGs in there. You see the button transfer here, click that. And now Ben is actually going to push these files from one drive to another drive. So Ben, if you stop sharing your screen for a moment.
Okay.
I will share.
I don't have to SSH into a computer to do that.
That's right. That's exactly right. So if you can see here on my computer, I have all the drives. I can see right here, Thunderblade is the main drive. I see test files and I see transfers. And look at this. Here are the 2 files that Ben put in there. If you remember from Ben's footage, he was only able to see photos because there weren't the video in there. And now he's moved the video files in there. So now if I'm the editor in some other place, Ben doesn't have to just invite me to a folder. He can actually transfer the files to my computer for me. This is so powerful for people that are on different time zones, because they can deliver the files while people are still sleeping. So when they wake up, the files are already there. So this is a major difference. Now I could choose to download these or localize them or watch them and view them. All of that happens. So Ben, you did a playback of a huge file. You did a 4K playback. Then you did a download of a small batch of clips. And then you did a transfer of a small batch of clips. What do you think?
The lack of tension in all of what we did is outstanding. I would have had to SSH in, and if you're a user that's not comfortable or knowledgeable with command line, you might have said, oh, well, we can't get to that. I mean, you've just eliminated a bunch of roadblocks. And the fact that we're not going up into a cloud and then down, we are truly going peer-to-peer. I don't think people appreciate how important that is, and that will be transformational for all kinds of people.
Wow, that means a lot. Thank you for saying that. So what we're going to do is one more test. I want you to, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we're going to go back to your screen in a second, refresh your browser. And I've added to you one more folder. Now you should see the proxy file, which is the camera. So before you do anything, I want everyone to understand this. And I just want the people on Instagram to see this. So I'm going to pan over here. I want people on Instagram to see this. This is a Blackmagic Ursa 12K. If you're just joining us, this camera has an SMB mount option. It is so powerful. What Blackmagic's doing with network workflows is unbelievable. And warning to all other cinema cameras, you got to catch up. What Blackmagic's doing, Red, Arri, Sony, Fuji, Nikon, get on board with this. This is incredible stuff. Network attached connections like SMB. So that's a service message block. That service message block allows you to connect this camera wirelessly. Okay, I'm going to center up now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot a take now. So I'm going to hit record. This is take 2. This is take 2. And we could see here. This is I don't know. We can kind of see this is take 2, and we've got our our laptop. Okay, I'm going to hit cut. And so now if you refresh one more time, Ben, you'll see that link show up, and that far right clip, if you click on that, that is the take I just shot. It'll launch your player, and now you can play that back. This is take 2.
That's wild. I love it.
Think about it. Now, Ben, you're playing back a file not from my computer. It's shared through my computer, but you're playing it off the camera. If you right click and hit download, that is going to download to that folder. There you go. It's pulling it off the camera. That's where the file's coming from. Isn't that wild?
That is transformational. That that opens up so much in terms of workflow and what we can do. And there's the file on my
Yeah.
computer playing
Yeah.
back from Finder.
Yeah. So when people are asking about improving workflows for delivering from cameras to editors, like this is, you said transformational. I use the same term. This is not, it's nuts. It's bananas. A DIT told me this is bananas. So
It takes 100% of the tension and the choke points in the workflow and gets rid of them.
yeah, yeah, it's really great. Well, Ben, I want to thank you so much for this. You were a real champ. Thank you so much. And it's always great to meet someone from the land of Lincoln. We really appreciate you being willing to participate. Thank you for that. That was Ben in Champaign, Illinois, 2,000 miles away, signing up, setting up, trying something completely for the first time. And that's an example of what a brave person like Ben, he said he's an editor for 20 years, so he knows workflow and he experienced something new. And we're thankful for that. We hope you experienced with him as well. Okay.
It was wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Ben. Appreciate it. Okay. So to wrap up today, the last thing we want to jump into is we got to talk a little bit about pricing. So how are we going to charge for this thing? Well, I said at the beginning, right now, Strata is free and unlimited. So today you should sign up and do everything you want, but that's going to end very soon. We are starting to move towards payments. And so I want to take you through the pricing plan and we welcome your feedback. And I see a few questions and I'll start to work in these questions while I do the pricing here. The first thing is you can sign up and there is a free plan. The free plan allows you to have 3 users. You can connect unlimited drives. Those can be NASs, SANs, hard drives, camera cards, doesn't matter. There's no storage limit because it's not our storage. You can have 500 terabytes or a petabyte of storage. It doesn't matter, connected to Strata. You can invite those 3 people. They can view unlimited assets. So they can be viewing all day long. But if you're going to transfer, you can only transfer up to 15 gigabytes for free. So if you're going to move photos and files and documents and small proxies, you can use the free plan to move it around. You can certainly use the free plan to try this out. We want people to feel comfortable trying it, just like Ben just did. Ben now feels probably pretty comfortable, and he was able to test that, and the free plan would do everything Ben and I just did. So that's all available. But when we go to the paid plan, for $8 a month, if you went for an annual subscription for $8 a month, you can invite 10 people and you can move up to 250 gigabytes. So per month. So you could transfer 250 gigs. All 10 of those people, they can invite 10 people and they can each move 250 gigabytes each. So it's just on an individual level. You can transfer 250 gigs and so can all your collaborators for $8 a month. I challenge you, find a cloud product that allows you to transfer 250 gigs for $8 a month. Like, you're not going to find it. Like this is really good. Plus you can have 10 people connected to that. Find a product that allows you to collaborate with 10 people and connect, 10 terabytes of footage and then move 250 gigs. Now, if you have great internet and you like raw files, this is amazing. For $24 a month, you can transfer unlimited files. Unlimited files for $24. You find a cloud product that allows you to transfer 10 terabytes, 20 terabytes, 50 terabytes, unlimited transfers for $24. And you can do that to unlimited users. So you can invite everybody and you can move files everywhere. That's the power of peer-to-peer. Now, people that on the unlimited plan probably need to have high bandwidth internet, because if you're going to be moving multiple terabytes, you need a lot of bandwidth to do that. But that's what we're offering that. So the last thing about this is, if you are a business and you have a lot of clients and you don't want your clients to have to pay for the Strata account to be able to move the files, then you can buy in bulk. You could buy on their behalf. So you could buy 10 licenses and then you can give those licenses to your clients. Also, these licenses are transferable. If you wanted to move the license from one client to the other or one contractor to the other, that's fine with us. We can help you do that. So you could buy 10 licenses and they could move around across 20 different people if you wanted to do that. So these are all things. I'd love your feedback. Like, please write in the chat right now. What do you think? Thumbs up, thumbs down, good, bad, fair, cheap, too expensive. I want another plan. I want a $12 plan that has 500 gigabytes. I don't know. You got to tell us that, okay? A couple of questions. Norianne says, any news when Strata will be available for mobile devices? Norianne on YouTube, I want to tell you that we want to surprise you in the fall. That's what I'll say. We want to surprise you sometime in the fall with some mobile access. So keep tuning in, be on our Discord, sign up for newsletters, and we can get you that info. Eric on YouTube says, will the demo you showed with Blackmagic work with Red Epic proxy files as well? Eric, go to the Strata YouTube channel. Where the heck is that? We got to go to YouTube. The Strata YouTube channel. Here is the Strata YouTube channel. There we are. You got to subscribe to the Strata YouTube channel. Strata.tech. That's our YouTube channel. Go to Strata.tech. Subscribe to that. Eric, next week, I have an episode coming out with Red cameras showing how to transfer files using Strata with Red cameras. And the Epic camera is a perfect camera to use. In fact, it's better than Komodo in some ways, in my opinion, with this workflow. So tune in next week, Eric. I want you to subscribe to this and turn the little bell on so you get notifications, because that's where we're going to answer that question. Toby is a DOP on Instagram. He says, does Strata have R3D RAW support? Toby, here's the truth. Web browsers, Chrome, Safari, Firefox, they cannot debear. You cannot load raw files in web browsers because web browsers can't debear files. So that's not possible. So there is no web application that can read Red raw files natively. That's not really possible, but we want to be the first. We have a way that we think we can make it work. And if we're lucky, in 2026, this is a goal of mine. I don't know if it's going to come true, but a goal of mine is to be at Cinegear 2026. That's June next year, June 2026, and hold up my phone and play back an 8K raw file from my Red camera. I want to play back 8K raw files on my phone, and that's one of my goals. So we want to make it possible. But today you can transfer R3Ds, but you can't see them. And that's why a lot of Red cameras that shoot proxies, Komodo, I have a problem with Komodo because I don't like single channel cameras, and Komodo shoots only one quality, and I don't like that. I think that's a step backwards in a way. Komodo is beautiful. It's impossibly small. It's one of the coolest cameras ever built, but it only records one file type. And in workflow, I need two. I need a high and a low. I need a raw and a proxy. And that's why I like Red Epics. I like Helium, Monstro, Panavision DXL, Raptors, Raptor XLs. Those are great cameras. So anyway, with that, Toby, you can download R3Ds and you could shoot proxy files, and then you could see the proxy and download the R3D. I will show that next week. Saudia says, could there be an option in Strata to sort the files, not just by thumbnails? Yes, we want to do list view. That's on our list, Sai. Toby again says, is there collaboration workflow opportunity involve Strata and Blackmagic Cloud? I believe so. Blackmagic Cloud can mount as a file system on your computer. And since it mounts as a file system, you can reshare that through the Strata agent. We didn't really talk about the agent today. So Toby, you need to do that. Reach out to us, Toby, if you want to have a session. Let's do this. I haven't proven that out. I think it works. I think people use it, but let's do that together. If you want to get a one-on-one, throw time on my calendar. We'll do that. Damon on YouTube says, I'd love to hear more about Nikon and how it could work with Strata. I shoot a lot of sideline sports and would love to integrate this. I use Dropbox now. Yuck. And that is the same old workflow. And you work with Frame.io handheld. Okay. So Damon, you got to reach out. We need to do a session together. And we want to rock your world with this workflow. So what I want you to do is join the Discord. Everyone here should join the Discord. You should sign up for Strata for free. The free plans are available right now, and they're not going to be free forever. So you want to get on this train. We want you in, and we want to reward early adopters. If you're on the fence, if Strata could really serve you, get in the program now because prices are going to go up. If this blows up, people are going to have to pay more. We want to reward you as an early adopter. So sign up today, join the Discord. I want to thank everybody for this great, exciting hour. I want to thank Ben in Champaign for participating and being a live guinea pig. Thank you for that. Thank you for all the great questions, the great workflow insight, and the feature requests. Keep them coming. All of us are available. There's my email. You can reach out anytime. You can schedule time. Pete probably put in the chat several times my calendar, but we'll put it in one last time. If you want to book time on my calendar, click on the link and then sign up, find time, because we can meet with you. Damon, we can build that workflow over with the Nikon cameras with you. Toby, we can build a workflow with Blackmagic Cloud with you. We want to do that together, but this is why we do these every week. So thank you, everyone. Have a great week, everybody. Sign up for Strata. I'll see you online. Bye-bye.